I can remember this border crossing like it was yesterday. This is the border crossing from Austria to Hungary, direction Vienna to Budapest. And the very first time I came through this border crossing, I was a lot younger, a lot younger back then, and I picked up a rental car in St. Wolfgang, Austria, just outside of Salzburg, and it was pouring rain that morning, and I got in the car and headed to Budapest. First time in my life, and what a magical trip that was. And I got to the border here, and I was scared to death. I was scared to death because it hadn't been all that long since the wall had come down, so to speak. And coming into Budapest, having been a young man that grew up in a time when the map up on the wall had a big red section on it, which was the Soviet Union. And so coming into Budapest that very first time, I was scared. I didn't know what to expect. I was afraid that I'd end up in a gulag or something like that. And anyway, so I came to the border here in Hungary, and in doing so, they stopped me, and they didn't speak English, of course, but they stopped me, and they wanted to see my passport, and they wanted to see the papers on the car and everything like that. And my heart was in my throat. It really was something. But anyway, after about 5 or 10 minutes of going through, different attempts at questions and answers, I found myself on this road right here. This is I believe this is the M1 motorway, if I'm not mistaken. This is the road leading to Budapest, and you can see the sun is shining brightly on this morning. And that whole drive, that first day, that whole drive, I put on some Van Morrison music, and that whole drive, that entire day from here to Budapest, it's about a better part of an hour and a half, 2-hour drive. I was just crying like a baby. They were just tears of joy coming down my face as I drove this highway into Budapest, and it was absolutely an incredible moment for me, and just an incredible moment. It was like felt like I was going home, and those of you that have followed me over the years, you know that my grandfather István Hel was from Hungary, Magyarország as they call it here. And, little did I know, hardly could I have imagined when I crossed that border that first time back in, I want to say 1998 or something like that. When I crossed that border for that very first time, little could I have imagined that Budapest would become like a second home to me, that I would meet a beautiful girl from a little town called Kecskemét, and move to Budapest, and come back and forth over the years, and spend beautiful summers here in Hungary. And it's just it's interesting to come back after all these years. It's just so interesting to come back and go back over that border again, and relive that moment in my life. So on to Budapest, the city full of langos and csirke paprikás and goulash leves and all that good stuff. So have a great day, everybody.